Good morning. This is my Accessible Yoga Challenge Asana class, or assignment, sorry. I am going to be doing 3 different challenging asanas and describing a little bit about what I'm doing and how my students would be taught to do them. So the first one I'm going to do is the gate pose, the Parigasana. And this stretches the sides of the torso and spine and the hamstrings. Also, it can open up your shoulders. It stimulates abdominal organs and your lungs. And the contraindications are if you have any serious knee injuries, you don't do it. Now I'm going to start a little bit differently than they did in the video, in the assignment, or in the section on the challenging asanas. So we're going to start here. We're going to start on our hands and knees in tabletop, making sure our wrists are directly below our shoulders, our knees are directly below our hips. And this is a sequence I use in my classes. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see it a little bit better. In my tiny house again, so my little lake house. So we're going to start on our hands and knees. And I just like to loosen up here a little bit before we start. And then we are just going to bring our right foot out to the side and making sure that foot is flat. Okay, and then just walk your hands a little closer to your body and then come up on your left knee. Again, making sure that knee's directly below that hip there. Foot stretched out to the side. Now we're going to bring our left arm up to the sky and we're just going to stretch down. This is a side stretch. You should feel this on the left side. Just slide down with your hand, tucking that bottom under, shoulders down away from the ears. Just doing a little side stretch here. Holding it and breathing. Hold it for 3 breaths. If you need to come up further, that's okay too. This is the modification. Move your arm up. Slide down for more of a stretch. On your next inhale, come on up. We're going to bring our hands back down to the floor under our shoulders. Bring that knee back down under your hip. And we're going to stretch out the left leg here. Stretch it straight out. Make sure it's lined up with that knee. Making sure the hip is over that knee as well. We're going to reach our arm up to the sky, right arm, and we're going to slide the left arm. Wherever we are here, it's all good. Just getting a nice side stretch here. We're stretching out that inner thigh. If you want to look up at that arm if it doesn't hurt your neck. Deep breath. And then exhale, come on back up. Bring your hands back to the floor, to your mat, and again, bring that knee back down to your tabletop. Okay, now we're going to move into our second pose that we're going to be doing, and this one is the revolved seated forward fold. Let's see if I can say that. Paravayata Paschimottanasana. Anyway, so this pose stretches and strengthens the spine, shoulders, arms, and your abs. It stimulates your internal organ. It boosts your energy. And the contraindications are any shoulder issues, hip issues, spine, gastrointestinal issues. You should check with a doctor or make sure that it's okay that you do this pose. We are going to sit up in our supine pose. Nope, not supine. We're sitting up straight. Making sure our shoulders are back and down. Staff pose. Making sure our shoulders are up and down. Knees are turning toward each other. Shoulders back and down, back straight. Head is reaching the crown of our head toward the ceiling. Okay. And the regular staff pose, we would be just leaning forward, grabbing our feet for our stretch here. I like to keep a straight back until I'm really nice and loose, and then you can drop your head. But right now, with this reclined pose, revolve pose, I'm sorry. I don't like doing videos. So anyway, with the revolve pose, we are going to cross our arms here and grab our feet in this direction. So this is how it's different. And then we are just going to bring that left elbow toward that right leg and try to look underneath your right arm. And we are doing a little twist here in our back. If we need to bend our legs, our knees, we can bend our knees. Both legs are long though. We have a long neck here. And we just take some breaths here. And then we just come back to our straight back and then come on back up. And then we'll be doing the other side. Now we're gonna come back up and we're gonna maybe open up our shoulders here and look up at the sky. Maybe a little shoulder stretch, bring those shoulder blades together behind you. Looking up, little contra pose here. Okay, now we're gonna come on back and we're gonna bring the arms the opposite way, bring the opposite arm on top. This time I'm bringing the left arm on top. Reaching forward, try to keep, if you can, keep the knees straight. If you need to bend your knees, that's okay. That's okay here. Now we are just going to bring that right elbow toward that left calf. And again, we're going to raise that left elbow up and look underneath that. Focus your gaze on something underneath your arm and breathe into it. Deep breaths. And then come on back to your neutral. Forward bend and cross those arms. And walk up back to your seated straight leg position. Okay, now we are into our third pose, which is the Salamba Sarvanasana, which is supported shoulder stand. The benefits for this is it calms the brain and relieves stress and mild depression. It stretches your shoulders and tones your legs and buttocks, improves digestion, relieves relieves fatigue and helps insomnia. Any contraindications, if you have any neck injury, diarrhea, headache, high blood pressure, or you're menstruating, it's probably a good idea to not do this, or at least check with your doctor before you're doing it. So now there's different modifications you can use. You can put a blanket under your neck or under your back to help support you here. I am not going to use it right now, but I am just doing the regular shoulder stand. There are different modifications though. So I'm going to lay down on my back. Straight, flat on my back on the supine position. Just take a couple deep breaths here. When you're ready, walk your feet up to your bottom. And what I like to do most of the time is roll like a ball to get the momentum going to go up into your shoulder pose, or shoulder stand. So I'm going to bring my knees to my chest and I'm going to roll back up to sitting. And we're going to roll like a ball 3 times and come back to our shoulder stand. 1, 2, 3, and then we're just going to use that momentum and get our elbows beside us, using our hands to push up our lower back here. And then we're going to slowly straighten our legs, straighten our back, tuck your chin in here, and breathe. We're tucking our bottom in, straight legs, glancing up at your feet. Do not move your neck in this position. Do not look to the right or left. We keep our neck straight here at all times. We're bringing our shoulder blades together, supporting our back with our arms. Bottom straight up, tucking that bottom in as much as we can. Okay, again, if you put a blanket underneath your shoulders, it helps ease into this pose a little better. And also, if this is too difficult a pose, I would never teach this to a beginner's class. To come out of the pose, bring your knees in and slowly roll back up to seated. Would never teach this pose to a beginner's class. But another modification would be the legs up the wall, which is also very beneficial for students, especially beginner students that can't get into, that should not be going into the supported shoulder stand without more experience and more stretching and strengthening. All right, I think that covers my 3 poses. Thank you for watching.